welcome to Hoffman's Hunting Heritage. Load your quiver, camo up, and join us for another great episode of Outdoors Action. Hoffman's Hunting Heritage is brought to you by
Advanced Takedown Tree Stands, Langia,
Sunrise Archery, author W.C. Hoffman,
and Tried Grunt Calls.
Here is your host, Bill Hoffman.
Hi, this is Dave Graham with Advanced Tree Stands.
This is Stephanie Brown with Langia.com.
This is Chef Derek Sagerman with Backyard Bow Pro.
Jerry Widener with Hunter Safety System.
Crystal Mahoney with Whitetail Widowmaker.
Jake Hacker, the Everyday Outdoorsman.
Johnny B from Johnny B's Taxidermy.
Ken Frank from Michigan Waterfowlers.
Hey, this is Audrey from Scent Crusher.
Dr. Brian Hall, and you're listening to one of my favorite podcasts, Hoffman's Hunting Heritage.
Hello and welcome back to episode 41 of Hoffman's Hunting Heritage. I'm your host, Bill Hoffman, and this week's show is just me, no guest, but I'm going to try to inspire you. I'm going to basically break down why I have pride as an outdoorsman, why I am proud to be an outdoorsman, why I choose to live my life this way, why I choose to, not always take the easy way out, why I choose to wear camouflage, why I choose to provide for my family. And not only why, but more maybe how, or the determination, the reasoning behind my decisions in life. Now, you may be thinking, okay, Bill, that's great. We don't all, write books, or we're not all involved in our local archery club, and we may not all have our own podcast, but you don't necessarily have to have those things. You don't have to be a part of the outdoors media to have pride in being an outdoorsman. And there's a reason I keep using that word, pride, because I'm going to break it down. And when I talked about inspiration, I really was inspired by last week's show, episode 40, with you guys from Rebel 6 Outdoors. They operate their lives and their company with a flair. I guess that might not be the right adjective. They operate their company in a certain way with a guiding principle of the 6 Ps. Now, I'm not going to break down what their guiding principles are. Mine are somewhat equal or, relative to theirs, but I'd take a little bit of a different stance on it. Now, mine is based on pride, because I feel that in order to brag up something, in order to talk a lot about something, in order to try to inspire people, or not necessarily change the way they're thinking, but if that happens, great. But in order to bring people closer to who you are as an outdoorsman, as a father, as a mother, as a person of the community, as a coach, it doesn't matter. You have to have pride in what you're doing. And that is exactly what I have, pride. Now, I've always said on this show, I do a whole lot of teaching and a little bit of preaching, and I think this episode may be the crowning jewel of that policy. But we're going to run real quick to commercial break, and when we come back, I'm going to jump up on the soapbox a little bit and let you know what I have to be proud about when it comes to being an outdoorsman. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
When only 5 days is your season, you need every advantage you can get. The new Takedown from Advanced Tree Stands, a 3-piece modular design with its own integrated ratchet system, gets you up in a tree faster, safer than ever before. Takedown from Advanced.
Langia.com, your home for unique products that fit the outdoors lifestyle. Langia.com is the leading online social marketplace for all the needs of today's busy outdoorsmen and women. With a carefully curated list of unique products from all American companies and small businesses, Langia is truly uniting the outdoors. Next time you find yourself shopping for gear or gifts, make sure you start your search from the comfort of your tree stand, hunting blind, or bass boat with Langia.com.
Make Sunrise Archery and Outdoors your source for all your archery needs. Bows, crossbows, and accessories from Elite, 10-Point, Mission, Matthews, Bowtech, Parker, and Prime. At Sunrise, you'll get the best customer service from a team of specialized professionals. You can even try it before you buy it and learn from the top archers. Come to the professionals for all your archery needs. Sunrise Archery and Outdoors, Torrey Road, Fenton.
Once in a while, a design comes along that defies convention and challenges the way we think about performance. Missions are built from the ground up to embody the power and precision of an apex predator. Explore the unique features that make Mission easier to draw, maneuver, and shoot accurately.
There was a time when man could communicate with all animals. But we have since forgotten their language. Tribe Grunt Calls is a new company with an old heritage, providing affordable but high quality and great looking grunt calls to hunters like you. For more information on how you can join the tribe, visit tribegruntcalls.com.
Welcome back to segment 2 of this week's episode.
Here is your host, Bill Hoffman.
Welcome back to segment 2 of this week's show. I hope you enjoyed segment 1. It was, after all, the shortest segment 1 in the history of this show. I'm pretty sure. Had to be, of course. But I wanted to get on a roll here in segment 2 with the word pride when it comes to how I view my role or my life in the outdoors as an outdoorsman in the outdoors industry. And this can be carried over into other areas and facets of life. But today we're really focusing on the outdoors. So the P in pride for me stands for potential. Now, the potential. There's a lot of different ways you can look at the word potential when it comes to the outdoors. Perhaps it's the potential to feed your family. It's the potential to shoot a record book buck. It's the potential to make lasting memories. I want you as an outdoorsman to think back to some of your favorite memories. A lot of them are outdoors related, aren't they? They're hunting and fishing, maybe with dad or with uncle or with grandpa, or it's the pictures with your first deer. And, perhaps it's that first shotgun you got on Christmas. You have the potential as an outdoorsman. You have the potential as a prideful outdoorsman to create so much, to instill so much in the people around us and your own life. The outdoors really does bring out the potential to create a well-rounded individual. And, people say all the time, and, I've seen it, I didn't come up with it, but, kids don't remember their best day of video games, but they sure as hell remember their best day fishing or their best day hunting or tagging along. I can think back as a kid to all those stories, all those times. And, unfortunately, the guy that got me involved in the outdoors, my uncle, he's not with us anymore. And grandpa's been gone since high school for me. I would give anything to have the potential to go fishing for bluegills with either one of them again. But here's the thing. Obviously, that can't happen. But what can happen is, as an outdoorsman, I can take the pride that I have as an outdoorsman, the pride that they instilled in me, and I can pass that along to my kids, my son, my daughter, or any other child. Or maybe it's not even a child. Maybe it's the neighbor who's not really into the outdoors. You have the potential to influence not only your life, but those around you just by being an outdoorsman. The R in pride, I like to think it stands for respect, because we have to have respect as outdoorsmen. And it doesn't just come down to poaching, or, because if you don't respect the laws, I don't think you're a hunter, you're a poacher. And I say there is a huge difference between the two. Hunters don't poach and poachers don't hunt. It's just not, they're not the same thing. They're not one and the same. You can cross over from one to the other, but there's no coming back. So having the respect for the laws that are set up in the areas. Now, we're not talking about the accidental, lawbreaker. Stuff happens. Happened to Ted Nugent. It's happened to Lee and Tiffany. It's, they hunting out of state, didn't realize the rules, broke a rule. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people that go out and shoot deer at night with spotlights, take their over limit of fish when they know there's a limit, stuff like that. People who are robbing you and me, people who have no respect for the rest of us, that have no respect for the animal. Now, there's a good thing. Bill, respect for the animal, you're killing it. Yeah. You gotta break an omelet you gotta break an omelet, geez, Pete's. You gotta break eggs to make an omelet, right? We are taking the lives of these animals. However, Mother Nature, call it what you want. God, it doesn't matter. We have dominion over these animals. There's a thing called the food chain. This is the way the earth was designed to be. Not only are we taking the lives of these animals, but let's go back and look at, where do our monies go for our licenses? Where does the taxes through the Pittsman-Robertson Act go when we buy gear? It goes back into wildlife conservation. And why are hunters, the ones who are killing, the only ones who are giving back to conservation? Why? Because we have respect. We have respect for the game that we pursue. If you guys want to talk, think about respect, go back and I kind of go on a rant on respecting the animal when it comes to taking trophy photos. I'm sorry, I don't remember what episode it was. I didn't look it up. It just came off the top of my head. But go back to the episode where I talked about taking respectful trophy photos. And there's things like cleaning the blood off of the mouth, tucking the tongue or cutting the tongue off, stuff like that. Now, there are guys that are going to say, this is the real world. You want to see a gut pile? Here's a gut pile, and post it on Facebook. And, I'm not saying I'm better than them. I'm just saying I'm different than them. And I don't think that they have the level of respect that they should. Again, you have to have respect for yourself, respect for the laws, respect for the animals, and respect for those around you. This means respect for hunters, non-hunters, outdoorsmen. Because don't forget, especially when we're hunting state land, that bird watcher has just as much right as you do to be there. But we talked about potential, right? So let's say you bump into someone and they're not hunting, but maybe they messed up your hunt. You have the potential to show hunters in a negative light towards them based on your reaction, or you could respect them, have a conversation, and have the potential to show hunters in a positive light. You might even change their mind. A lot of times they don't know. They think our licenses and stuff go to fix roads. They think that our license fees go to, the general fund. They don't realize that because of our respect as outdoorsmen, the outdoors is there for them to enjoy. They don't realize that there would be no wild turkeys in most of the United States if it wasn't for us. They don't realize that the federal Migration Act that protects all of the ducks and the geese and the swans and the stuff that they like to watch. They don't realize that hunters are the ones that are funding it. When's the last time that a bird watcher bought a duck stamp? I'm sure it does happen, but not like it happens with hunters. We are the reason, and we are the reason because we have respect. We have pride. It's that simple. Now, along with respect, the I in pride, I kind of lump these two together. And the I stands for integrity. Now, I think you can make the connection between respect and integrity, especially when we talk about the laws, right? Especially when we talk about, making decisions. But here's how I break down integrity and why it's important for outdoorsmen. Your integrity is not based. Here's a better way to frame it. Your integrity is based on the decisions you make when no one is watching. If you've got a limit of 25 bluegills, what's the 26th? No, a 26, that shows your lack of integrity. If it's past legal shooting times or before legal shooting times, maybe it's just a little too dark. That shows your integrity. And the reason we as outdoorsmen have to have integrity and a high level of integrity is because we are under the microscope. We are under attack from the anti-hunters. We are under attack from the people who don't understand our way of life. We have the potential to show them that our way of life is a glorious way if we have respect. And if we develop that respect off of the integrity that we already have. Integrity means not cheating on the 3D course, calling an arrow in when it's not having a fat pencil lead when you're marking down your score. Integrity means counting the misses, counting the hits when we're on the trap field correctly. Integrity as an outdoorsman is the only thing you have that ensures others will respect you. It doesn't matter if you kill the biggest, let's say you've killed 10 monster bucks. You've killed 10 bucks on public land with a bow that you made on public land, and they're all over 200 inches. But guess what? You lose your integrity on that 11th buck because you shot it out of season, or you broke a law, or you trespassed. You did something wrong. You made a bad decision. You put the trophy above who you are as a person. That is integrity. The first 10 do not matter after you've lost your integrity, because when you lose your integrity, you've lost other people's respect for you. And when you've lost other people's respect, you no longer have the potential to be the influencer on their lives that you once had. I think those two go hand in hand, and it's pretty clear. The third, and this shouldn't be a surprise, potential, respect, integrity. The D is determination. Now, determination kind of depends on the type of outdoorsman you are. And there are lots of different types of outdoorsmen. There is the guy that goes fishing once a year on vacation on a fishing trip with his buddies. There is a guy like me who writes about the outdoors, who puts his money where his mouth is, who goes on hunting trips, who takes his time out of my day to, potentially influence other people via the show, via the parts of the communities I am. There's the determination to get out and become more efficient with my weapons, more a better 3D archer, a better tournament archer, a better hunting archer, a better shotgun shooter, a better in every aspect, a better trapper, a better fisher. Now let's all forget that. I also have the determination to be a better, or not better compared to anyone else, but better compared to myself every day, to be a better representative of this outdoors lifestyle. I have had dinners with anti-hunters. I work 40 hours a week in one of the most liberal cities in America. And I walk in that place with camouflage, and I'm not flipping people the bird, because I am determined to show them that I have respect for them and integrity on my own. And I have the potential to change the way they think. Even if it's not to change the way they think about hunting in general, it is to change the way they think about me. That is a good start. And because I am determined to do these things, I am determined to be a better hunter. I am determined to be a better angler. I am determined to be a better outdoorsman. And when you match the determination that you have up with everything else I've already talked about, you have something to be proud of. You have pride. Now, you can have all the determination in the world, and you can have the integrity to make the right decisions. You can have the respect for people around you, and you know about the potential, but none of it matters if you don't put in the effort. And that is the E in pride. Potential, respect, integrity, determination, and effort. If you are not putting in the effort to do these other things, don't bother doing the other things. If you have the idea that, I don't have to worry about this, someone else will do it, you are in the wrong. You are that someone else. We are outdoorsmen as a whole. We all have to work together. We all have to work together to defend our way of life. You want to see things disappear? You want to see things change? You want to lose what has always been there for you? Put no effort into protecting it. Put no effort into protecting the Second Amendment. Put no effort into protecting the way you hunt, the way you fish. And unfortunately, a lot of this effort involves politics. Unfortunately, a lot of this effort involves getting out and voting, getting out and making sure people are educated. You know what? That would be a great E as well. Educate. Because we as outdoorsmen, we have to educate not only ourselves, but those around us. And we have to put the effort into that education for people to understand who we are, what motivates us, and why they should be like us. We are at the top of the food chain. We are the top of the totem pole. That doesn't mean we're looking down on everybody and everything. That means we are trying to pull them up to where we are. You know why? Because isn't the beauty at the top glorious? Anti-hunters don't see the sunrises we see. They don't enjoy the sunsets, the geese calling, the sound of a bass hitting a topwater bait. They don't hear the scream of a rutting bull elk in September Colorado mountains the way that an outdoorsman does. They don't have the pride that we have. And I feel sorry for them. Now, some people might say, screw them. No, they don't realize what they are missing out on. because they are so closed-minded. And the only way to open up the non-hunting people to our way of lifestyle is to show them we have pride, potential, respect, integrity, determination, and effort. Get outdoors. It's a wild place to be. We'll see all of you proud outdoorsmen, next week.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Hoffman's Hunting Heritage. Get outdoors. It's a wild place to be.